Good evening and welcome. I'm Dr. Vince Potter, Principal of North Bend High School. Welcome to this very special and exciting evening at North Bend High School. Tonight we have the privilege to honor students that have achieved recognition in academics, athletics, and activities at the state, regional, national, and even international level. Over the course of the year, I've continually expressed that the heart and soul of the school is its student body. And our student body certainly is one that is involved, dedicated, and committed to excellence. At the beginning of the school year, I challenged them to reach higher for success, to set goals, to attain them. Without a doubt, they have met the challenge. Throughout the year, week after week, in fact, almost day after day, North Bend High School is able to recognize tremendous accomplishments in the classroom, on the stage, achievement in the athletic arena, in the lab, or in the community. Tonight is North Bend High School's 10th AAA program. Over a period of 10 years, over 3,000 students have been recognized for achievements at the state, regional, national, and international level. That's an amazing accomplishment for the recognized student, the school, and the community. Can you believe that tonight we will honor over 375 students, and by the conclusion of the evening, the stage will be full of achievers. I hope that you feel my pride in these young people and the appreciation that I have for the teachers that coach, advise, and sponsor them, along with the parents that support them. Truly, this program is what North Bend High School is about. It is about excellence. Now, some logistics this evening for the students being recognized. Students, if you could enter to my left and fill a seat on the stage on the far end of the row to my right. Tonight, my assistants will be acting and serving as multi-masters of ceremonies. Now, please welcome Mr. Burton T. Hines, Associate Principal of North Bend High School. Mr. Hines.
Thank you, Dr. Potter, and good evening, everyone. This evening, when you see your students receiving the awards, that should work a little better. When your students come across the stage to receive the awards, historically what we do is give them a North Penn tile. This tile is designed each year in a new format. On the tile it will say academics, athletics, and activities equals excellence, North Penn High School. Each student, no matter how many times they're on the stage or as many activities that they're involved in, will only receive one tile for this evening. This is not an activity where you can collect tiles enough to do your kitchen or another room in your home. So each person will be receiving one tile over the course of the evening. We will begin this evening with the percussion ensemble. The North Penn High School Percussion Ensemble is directed by Mr. Tom Kelly. This ensemble is often described by spectators as percussion theater, meaning it is similar to the visual ensemble group, which performs a drill designed to music. Percussion ensemble, however, develops musical and harmonic lines through the use of a wide range of percussion instruments. The percussion ensemble performs its drill typically in the space of a gymnasium basketball court, complete with props and backdrops, costuming, and generally the show runs 5 minutes in length. What you have here tonight is a chance to see and hear, and to begin our program, the percussion ensemble performing their musical program, the music of Santana. This year, the ensemble traveled to Winter Guard International competitions, featuring units from across the country. These competitions were held in Boston, Massachusetts, and Dayton, Ohio, and our percussion ensemble captured 8th place. So sit back and enjoy the North Penn Percussion Ensemble. North Penn High School Professional Ensemble. Members include Steve Archer, Leah Amin, Aaron Blake, Brian Bushman, Aaron Camlin, Shane Sereno, Mike Cleary, Jamie Cook, Josh Cressman, David Deuce, Natasha Downing, Christina Emerly, Anthony Fano, John Frederick, Rob Gerhardt, Andrew Holstein, Nicole Jansen, Megan LaFleur, Andrew Lersch, Katie Love, Heather Mascara, Mike Moore, Dan Pilquist, Jerry Climette, Jessica Proen, Annette Rebholz, Matt Stone, Randall Stryjak, Chrissy Thompson, Mike Wojcik, Amy Walton, William Warner, and Christy Zabrodsky. As we come across the stage and get your files, we ask the product. The next group will be recognizing our participants in the academic decathlon. It's been 10 years since the academic decathlon became an activity at North Penn High School. In that time, the academic decathlon has provided our students an opportunity to provide a wide and diverse knowledge base in everything from math, English, science, and social studies to the arts. The academic decathlon originated in California in 1967, and by the early 80s, it had become a national event. In Pennsylvania, the decathlon has grown from 19 teams competing in the state event to 47 teams competing in the state event this year. Last year, over 2,000 schools across the country and 20,000 students participated in local and state events to earn the right to represent their individual states at the U.S. Academic Decathlon meet. For the second year in a row and the third time in the last 10 years, North Penn High School has won the State Academic Decathlon Championship. This year's team scored a total of 43,125 points out of a possible 60,000 points. And that win enabled and entitled the team to travel to Providence, Rhode Island to represent Pennsylvania in the national event. There they placed 15th nationally and 3rd in the entire Northeast region. Individual honors were won by Josephine Drew, who scored a perfect 1,000 on the art and math tests to earn a gold medal. Josephine was also the first recipient of the Senator Pell Distinction in Art Award, presented by the state of Rhode Island in recognition of Senator Pell's continuing contribution to the arts and academics. The results at every level reflected a true team effort. To win the state championship 2 times in a row and to place nationally is truly an outstanding achievement. Here to introduce the students are the coaches of the academic decathlon team, Mrs. Sue Masti and Mrs. Pam Schleifer.
outstanding group of young people, and they are as follows: Josephine Drew, Jason Harris, Kimberly Dash, Pat Kessler, Scott Clark, Helen Lewinsky, Jimmy Young, Katie O'Driscoll, Jim Kramer, Diki Gudipati, and Melissa Liu.
The 1998 Academic Decathlon team. Next on the docket for recognition, the girls water polo team. Competition in the water has a long tradition of success at North Penn High School. Now in its fourth year as a school-sponsored interscholastic sport at North Penn, the girls water polo team has continued that tradition of success. In dual meets during the season, the team achieved a record of 20 wins and 1 loss. They worked hard, continued to improve, and built the strength and stamina needed to compete in the grueling state tournament. In the state meet held at Pottsville, the girls water polo team achieved second place. Additionally, several members were named all-state winners. Here to introduce the team members are Coach Bill Bartle and Assistant Coach Denise Jones.
Team members are Laura DiLuigi, Rebecca Grant, Monica Hatchen, Ashley Jernigan, Lindsay Jernigan, Kim Klein, Denise LeBeau, Melanie McManus, Katie O'Brien, Nicole Sword, Jessica Thomas, and Andrea Umar.
The girls water polo team. The next award recipients distinguished themselves through the art and craft of writing. Their original short stories were published in the regional publication entitled The High School Writer. That covers the northeastern United States. Each month, the high school writer selects the best out of all entries received. You need to note that over 30,000 entries were submitted for consideration this year. Here are the winners selected by high school writer over the course of the school year. North Penn winners, Carrie Capps. As soon as I call your name, you may come forward. Anthony DiDomizio. Barry Floyd, Amanda Greer, Kelly Laumer, Jessica Mitchie, Deanna Mills, Katie Paul, Elise Shore, Jennifer Sykes, Jessica Turk, and Marissa Williams. From this overall listing for the year, entrants were considered for 81 special high school writer literary awards. To develop the pool of 81, 9 pieces of writing were selected from each month's winning entrants. North Penn High School is fortunate to have a recipient singled out as being published many times and who has captured the attention of the editors of this literary magazine. And the recipient is Jessica Turk. Jessica, if you would just stand, please, to recognize you. Tennis is a varsity sport that's been a winner for many years. Coaches and team members work throughout the year to maintain a high degree of excellence. The physical endurance, the finesse, the mental aspect of the sport, and many other fine points that are needed to play the game of tennis are not necessarily understood by those of us who've picked up a racket for recreational purposes. Competitive tennis at the high school level is intense. In state championship action just this last weekend, Cliff Nguyen again brought home a medal. This season, Cliff has been one of the leaders on the team, and his excellent play was an important part of his accomplishments during the season and placing so well at the state meet. Welcome, state medalist Cliff Nguyen. Presenting the tile along with Dr. Cotter is Coach Toby Watt.
This is Cliff's second year at the state level. As a freshman, he won the state championship. As a sophomore, as Mr. Hines mentioned, he finished 4th. He has 2 District 1 championships and a Suburban 1 singles championship and a 2nd place, and we're fortunate to have him for 2 more years. Thank you.
This year, North Penn High School was recognized in the Discover Card Tribute Award program. Junior student Janice Drew was named a bronze medalist in the Arts and Humanities category for the state of Pennsylvania. This award carries with it a $1,250 scholarship. The program is in cooperation with the American Association of School Administrators and recognizes students who maintain high-ranking GPAs and demonstrate accomplishments in the areas of unique endeavors, special talents, leadership, and community service. There were 11,000 entrants in the United States and in overseas schools. Please welcome Janice Drew. Time for a little more music. Some would argue that jazz should be considered one of the earliest musical art forms in the 20th century. This particular medium allows the musician to develop original lines in what is called improvisation. Because the sound of big band jazz has produced many of the world's best-known musicians, jazz has maintained a certain consistency and style. Realize that many of the big bands have performed right here on the North Penn stage, including Stan Kenton, Maynard Ferguson, Woody Herman, and Count Basie. The sounds of the big bands of Glenn Miller, Tommy and Jimmy Dorsey live on under the leadership of other great jazz musicians. Our own North Penn Jazz Ensemble, likewise, captures the excitement of the big band sound. Each year in jazz festivals throughout the tri-state area, John Joseph and the North Penn Jazz Ensemble are recognized for their excellence. This year, the North Penn High School Jazz Ensemble and the North Penn Lab Bands each won their respective divisions in the Cavalcade of Bands Jazz Championships. So sit back and enjoy the North Penn Jazz Ensemble under the direction of Mr. John Joseph. At this time, I'd like to ask Mr. Joseph to come to the stage and introduce these fine, talented musicians.
Thank you very much, Mr. Hines. The members of the North Penn High School Jazz Ensemble are as follows: Lee Allback, Randy Bass, Matt Eastad, Jason Klein, Jeff Haig, Ben Ingram, Marlo Lynch, Chris Mamrell, Patrick Mose, Leslie Mort, Amanda Parker, Missy Piccarilli, Michael Pilquist, Drew Reynolds, William Schaefer, Doug Stanley, Michael Strelzik, Adam Taylor, and Eric Ward.
Incredibly talented young men and women there. Dr. Cotter said earlier that we would be switching moderators and changing positions from one assistant principal to the next. It's my pleasure and a great honor to introduce to you Ms. Brenda Dickerson, assistant principal, North Penn High School.
Thank you, Mr. Hines. Good evening, everyone. Especially honored day. I am here to introduce the National Merit Scholarship Commended Students. I'd like you to know that 33 North Penn High School seniors have received letters of commendation from the National Merit Scholarship Corporation for their high scores on the 1996 PSAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. These students scored among the top 3% of the over 1 million students taking the test across the country. Commended students are being honored for their exceptional academic talent demonstrated on this highly recognized standardized test. Commended students are named on the basis of their test score selection index, a benchmark that is applied nationally without regard to a state-by-state distribution. This, ladies and gentlemen, is quite an accomplishment. So now congratulate with me the following North Penn High School commended students. When I call your names, please come to the podium. Thank you. Rebecca Alford, Chris Beals, Adam Clark, Peter Colvin, Bethany Davis, Kristen Durstein, Joshua Innes, Matt Estat, Melissa Fickman, Adam Fisher, Christina Fretz, Emily Hall, Bill Hanning, Jennifer Hayes, Megan Hoare, Ann Kim, Mark Lee, Katie Love, Paul Mahoney, Katie O'Driscoll, Tim Climette, Michael Riley, Rishi Sanyal, Adam Sykes, Ben Shelley, Joanna Singh, Jeremy Sturcio, Ann Tanis, Jessica Turk, Ramneet Wadera, Colleen Wasson, Brian Winterhalter, and Jimmy Yun. The next award is for the American Association of Teachers of German. This examination is given nationwide to students in grades 10 through 12. As an award recipient, students must score well in reading, grammar, and listening skills in the target language. They must score above the 85th percentile in all of the component areas. Now to introduce the students are Mr. Klaus Bondar and Mrs. Carolyn Murphy.
Good evening. When Dr. Potter mentioned achievements at the international level, I thought he must be talking about Stephen Schwartz, because Stephen Schwartz certainly was successful in the time that he spent in Germany. Believe it or not, spending a year in Germany, although it sounds like it would, doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to be very successful in studying a language. But I think Stephen had the thirst for knowledge, the openness of mind to learn new things while he was in Germany, and I commend him tonight for his high achievement in the APG. Well done, Stephen.
I would also like to introduce three other students. Alex Stornberg could not be here this evening. Bjorn Selvgren is from Norway, but he's never been to Germany. Bjorn was in my German 3 class, and we called him the Viking leader, and we're very proud of his results on this exam. I would also like to call to the podium Mark Yoder. Mark scored very high on the level 3 exam. You know, Germans never make anything easy. Mark will be our representative in Aalen next year. He will be spending the year in Aalen, and we wish him the best.
Thank you. The night prior is the school newspaper and annually receives statewide recognition for its quality and organization. Student editors and columnists spend countless hours on writing, production layout, and gaining first-hand knowledge of the components and responsibility of being a journalist. Members of this year's staff have been an integral part of the night prior success, particularly in recent years. The night prior was named recipient of the Keystone Award, which is presented for Best Overall Paper, and also the prior was selected as a first place winner in Quill and Scroll, and International Honor Societies for Scholastic Journalists. This award is determined by the Pennsylvania School Press Association. Advisor to the night prior, Mrs. Ann Weinblatt, will introduce the student journalist. And Mrs. Russo.
Thank you. I'd like to also announce that we found out from the Columbia Scholastic Press Association that we just took a gold medal, so that gave us a hat trick this year. And I congratulate the staff. Mrs. Russo and I would like to recognize the following students, some of whom are on stage, and when I call your name, if you could stand up so they can see who you are again. Mark Anderson, Patrick Nose, Jeremy Sturcio, Dale Talan, Jessica Turk, Eleanor Vega.
Thank you so much. Earlier, when we introduced the water polo team, you heard how swimming is a big-time championship sport at North Penn. The swimming experience begins in the early days continues through the numerous community summer league programs and aquatics programs. Through the leadership and commitment of coaches past and present, North Penn High School has built a swimming powerhouse. On a regular basis, local pool records as well as league, district, and state records are broken by North Penn swim teams. The boys team has now won 10 straight district championships. This year was North Penn's 5th state championship. It is also the 2nd consecutive year of winning the state championship. Colleagues in swimming point to the rigorous training program and superior depth in outdistancing near state competitors, North Allegheny, by 40 points. All 3 North Penn relay teams placed in the top 6. Along the way, the team has mounted a 166 dual meet win streak. Many members of this year's team are being considered for All-American status, which is determined by the top 30 times in a particular event. To introduce the boys' state swimming championship team is Coach Bill Barber.
And members of this year's boys swimming team: Jeremy Bergen, Dan Bishop, Steve Bonner, Chris Craig, Steve Fleming, Tim Cronstein, Mike McPeak, Steve Pasquale, Doug Philbom, Lee Rappaport, and Dominic Zabo. Three members of the boys swimming team, and I'd like them to stand: Lee Rappaport, Doug Philbom, and Dan Bishop, are being recognized along with these team members. Dan, Lee, and Doug have been recognized as academic All-Americans. They have a grade point average of 3.75 over their 4 years in high school and have lettered 3 years. Congratulations. We'd also like to recognize Steve Bonner. Steve Bonner this year won a gold medal at the state championship. Steve broke a league record this year that was 23 years old, a district record that was 21 years old, and a state record this year that was 21 years old. Congratulations, Steve. And we'd also like to recognize the silver medal relay teams this year. The 200-yard medley relay of Steve Fleming, Dominic Zabo, Chris Craig, and Mike McPeak. The silver medal relay team of Mike McPeak, Steve Pasquale, Tim Cronstein, and Jeremy Bergman. And the silver medalist 400-yard freestyle relay team of Chris Craig, Steve Fleming, Dominic Zabo, and Jeremy Bergman. Congratulations.
Thanks, Coach. Selection to the Pennsylvania Music Educators of America Regional Band is based upon audition results in the District Band Festival. Students must perform a prepared solo, sight read, and demonstrate technical skill in the performance of musical scales from memory. Each year, over 500 student musicians audition at the district band level. The students then gather for a 3-day festival under the leadership of a nationally renowned conductor and present a concert at the conclusion of the event. Please welcome Mr. Ted Heller, who will introduce those students who were named to the regional band.
Regional band members include Brian Clayton, Megan Herr, Liz Holstein, Katie Love, Kim Sana, and Christine Santangelo. Region and all-state members include Ben Ingram and Amanda Wetzel.
FBLA, or Future Business Leaders of America, is an organization that is extremely popular here at North Penn High School. As a matter of fact, you can see FBLA members running the school store. And this year, at the state championship conference, North Penn High School had several award winners. Here is the Future Business Leaders of America advisor, Mrs. Linda Westerland, to introduce those students.
It's my pleasure to introduce the state winners from FBLA. These students competed in various business-related events against students from across the state. And as state winners, they now qualify to go on and compete at nationals, which will be held in Orlando, Florida this summer. So the students are Karen Anderson, first place in Accounting 2, Jim Kramer, 5th place in International Business, Jeff Fields, 2nd place in Business Procedures. The team of Tucker Luke, Dan Morano, and Joe Snyder placed first in the writing of a business plan, and Mickey Voida was elected Treasurer of Pennsylvania State FBLA.
Thank you, Mrs. Wexley. On May 13th and 14th, the North Penn School District hosted its annual District Art Gallery. The show was held in the gymnasium, and if you attended this year's show, or even had an opportunity to see the previous years, I think you will agree that it truly was an artistic masterpiece with work on exhibit from students in grades K through 12. 2 North Penn High School students gained special recognition honors at the 11th Annual Student Art Exhibition, Touch the Future, held at Rosemont College's Lawrence Hall Gallery. The event is sponsored each year by the Mid-Eastern region of the Pennsylvania State Education Association. The show is judged by professional artists, and winning artwork from throughout the region was on display for several weeks at Rosemont. To introduce the young artists, here is Mrs. Adler.
Thank you. Ross Bernstein, who won the 3rd place award for his oil pastel, and Dan Short, a photography student, won Best of Show. North Penn High School art major students also participated in the Mordechai Anti-West Creative Arts Contest of the Holocaust during the month of March. Adam Clark won 3rd place in the mixed media for his sculpture work. If you are here, please come forward. Ross Bernstein, Dan Short, and Adam Clark. This is Dan Short.
Thank you. The next organization recognized this evening is the North Penn Visual Ensemble, directed by Brian Stout. Each year, this organization actively competes in the Cavalcade of Bands Indoor Drill Association and the Winter Guard International Circuits. This year, the season concluded with outstanding achievement at the WGI Championships in Dayton, Ohio, where the Guard finished 18th in the country. The Visual Ensemble also won the Cavalcade of Bands Indoor Drill Association Championship in late April. An indoor guard program, or as we know it, the Visual Ensemble, incorporates dance, choreography, traditional marching, props, flags, rifles, and other equipment, and is performed to recorded music. Go to any indoor show, and you will hear the music of the classics, New Age, Top 40, and yes, even the Broadway stage. To many, the Visual Ensemble is recognized as movement theater. During the fall season, the Visual Ensemble members perform as members of the Marching Knights Band Front. This year's program was destined to the music of Igor Stravinsky's Rites of Spring. Now, since this evening we are here in the auditorium, performing for you is an impossibility. However, through the magic of videotape, you will have an opportunity to sample the product. 29 members of the North Penn High School Visual Ensemble. I'd like to introduce them to you. As I call your names, please come to the stage. Ryan Stout is here, ladies and gentlemen.
The members of the North Penn Visual Ensemble include Amanda Berry, Jennifer Biondo, Lisa Birnbaum, Terry Blaze, Susan Woods, Heather Bryce, Laurie Carbone, Jean Kramer, Margie Galone, Emma Hill, Dana Honeywell, Marissa Johnson, Lindsay Kleba, Claire Cuser, Allison LaFleur, Katie Lapps, Sally Melvin, Amanda Miller, Aubrey Reinmiller, Tiffany Rush, Carly Shaw, Laurie Sheets, Natalie Schmidt, Holly Sensinger, Jen Siegel, Laura Smith, Dana Swain, Jennifer Toper, Karen Wiley, and Dawn Williamson, who also competed and won the individual solo competition at state championships. North Penn Visual Ensemble.
Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, I'd like to introduce Mrs. Sandra Noonan, who will now introduce the next portion of our program. Mrs. Noonan.
Good evening, everyone. I feel honored to be able to continue this program and to introduce to you more of North Penn High School's amazing students. I would like to begin with winter track. Our winter track teams carried on the tradition of excellence again this year. Many of the competitors have also served as a nucleus for our successful spring track teams. But again, don't be mistaken. Winter track is a separate sport, and the student athletes are very intense in the competitive arena. Top honors for the girls' team at the indoor state championships were earned by the 4x400, better known as the mile relay team. Please welcome to the stage Nia Campbell, Alyssa Harashak, Erica Parker, and Cheryl Smith. Mr. Chris King is the girls' head coach. When they run track, they're very fast. Presidential scholars. Seniors Josephine Drew and Rishi Sanyal were earlier named by the White House Commission on Presidential Scholars as candidates for the United States Presidential Scholars Program. Scholars are chosen on the basis of accomplishment in academic and artistic success, leadership, and finally, involvement in school and community affairs. Rishi was named as one of approximately 500 semifinalists in the Presidential Scholars Program. Semifinalists were chosen from more than 2,600 candidates. Final selection will be announced later this spring. Ladies and gentlemen, Josephine Drew and Rishi Sanyal. Josephine, stand. Josephine, would you please stand? Thank you. Next is the troubadour. Mr. Dick Gilbert is the advisor and Mrs. Marsha Lehman is the art advisor. The 1997 edition of the Troubadour, North Penn's literary magazine, was named as the first place winner by the American Scholastic Press Association. Two of the editors are with us this year. Please welcome Cheryl Roberge and Melissa Roland. Okay. At this time, I would like to call Mrs. Barry Finnemeyer to the podium. She, along with Mrs. Betty Jean Stratton, are co-advisors of the North Penn High School chapter of the National Honor Society, and she has a few words to say this evening.
Thank you. Each year in January, the National Honor Society chapters across the country are asked to nominate 2 students, seniors from the chapter, to be represented in a National Honor Society scholarship competition. 250 National Honor Society scholarships are awarded across the country. They are apportioned to the various states according to the number of chapters that are present in that state. Pennsylvania receives approximately 40 of these scholarships each year. And this year we were very, very lucky and very privileged to have both of our nominees win one of these scholarships, and it was Rishi Sanyal and Wayne Lamb.
Okay, at this time I would like to call up to the podium Dr. Melody Lighthold to help me introduce our winning members in science, in the area of science. The mysteries of science are being unlocked every day. North Penn students are active learners in the scientific arena. Through the classroom experiences and the opportunities to participate in regional, state, national, and international science fairs, our students continually attain top honors. Our students of today are definitely the scientific leaders of tomorrow. The team of Janice Drew, Rishi Sanyal, and Sohini Sanyal were selected as regional winners in the 1998 National Science Teachers Association Toshiba Exploravision Awards competition. This team was one of 48 teams selected from nearly 5,000 who entered, and they represent over 17,000 students. This competition is for students in grades kindergarten through 12 of all skill and ability levels across the United States and Canada. The North Penn team was one of 2 regional winners from New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, the Armed Forces of America, and the Armed Forces of Europe. Delaware Valley Science Fair is one of the oldest and largest competitions in the United States. Students advance to this level by placing first or second at one of 12 regional fairs in Delaware, South Jersey, and southeastern Pennsylvania. Sohini Sanyal won third place in the biochemistry category for her project called Probing the Mechanism of Surface Absorption of Therapeutic Proteins. Wayne Lau placed first in the medicine and health category for his project titled What Temperatures Effectively Inhibit E. coli Growth in Ground Beef. He also received special awards and was named the USDA ERRC Future Science Award winner. Wayne also was a semifinalist in the Westinghouse Science Talent Search. He and Rishi Sanyal were selected from an applicant pool of 1,581 entries from 594 schools in the 44 states, Washington, D.C., Puerto Rico, and schools overseas. 11 of the 300 finalists are from Pennsylvania. Rishi placed first in the physics category with his project, Sonoluminescence, Potential Application to a Novel Biomedical Imaging Technique. And as you heard, Rishi, along with Wayne Lau, was a semi-finalist in the Westinghouse Talent Search, and as such is a candidate for scholarship awards in the nation's oldest scholarship competition. Janice Drew won first place in the chemistry category for her project, an electrical study of pyrrole and surfactants. At the sophomore level, Jonathan Fink won first place in the physics category for his project, Candle Detection, and he received a special award from the Franklin Institute. And finally, Sandy Leonard won first place in the chemistry category with her project, The Deterioration of Ascorbic Acid. Let's have a round of applause as Dr. Lighthold presents these students.
And just this past weekend, the STARS, that's the North Penn Science, Technology, and Research students, went up to the state level competition for the Pennsylvania Junior Academy of Science, and we had 5 first place winners. They were Rishi Sanyal, Sohini Sanyal, Jeff Kine, John Fink, and Sandy Leonard. So would my students please stand if you're up here, and if you're still in the audience, please come up. That is Janice Drew, Wayne Lau, Sohini Sanyal, Rishi Sanyal, Jonathan Fink, Sandy Leonard, and Jeff Kine. Wayne, Rishi, and Janice, aren't you up here too somewhere?
At this time, I'd like to call Mrs. Marcia Herta to the podium. She is one of the assistant principals at the Technical Career Center. Adjacent to North Penn High School is the North Monco Technical Career Center. In the last 5 years, tremendous changes have occurred, expanding the opportunities for area students. North Monco includes students from 5 different school districts. Through youth apprenticeship programs and a development of other curricular areas, the technical school is now, more than ever, a wonderful, state-of-the-art educational facility for students. VICA, which stands for Vocational Industrial Clubs of America, is a co-curricular organization of students enrolled in trade, technical, and industrial education. Each year at the state conference, North Monco students distinguish themselves in the presentation of student projects. Here to introduce an award-winning student is Mrs. Marcia Herda.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to introduce North Monco Technical Career Center and North Penn High School State VICA champion, and that's Chris Ulmer.
Okay, I'd like to call Dr. Davis Gears to the podium, please, to help me recognize the regional and state chorus. Vocal music skills are demonstrated by North Penn students in our 275-voice chorus, the concert choir, and our vocal jazz ensemble, the ambassadors. You can also hear great voices in the spring musical and numerous individual and small vocal ensembles throughout the year in the school and in the community. Interested students from the choral program have an opportunity to measure their vocal skills in festivals sponsored by the Pennsylvania Music Educators Association. The process begins with auditions for the District Chorus Festival. Usually, over 500 students challenge for positions in the district chorus. For selection to the regional chorus, a student must achieve placement at the district level. This year, North Penn had 7 selected to the regional chorus. To attain state chorus recognition, once again, students must pass an audition at the Regional Chorus Festival and rank near the top. 2 students moved on to the State Chorus Festival held this year in Erie. Please welcome Dr. Davis Gears, Director of Choral Music here at North Penn High School, to introduce these students.
The regional chorus students are Angela Dimmick, Kimberly Dunn, Matthew Fritz, Megan Hurd, Jessica Orgira, Jason Scott, and Mitchell Sight. Of those students, the 2 that went on to reach the all-state level were Kimberly Dunn and Jason Scott. Congratulations.
Next, we're going to talk about the North Penn High School Lab Band. Peter New is the director. The North Penn High School Lab Band is one of 2 jazz ensembles in the high school. Under the leadership of Mr. Peter New, the Lab Band brings the big band jazz sounds to life. Whether it is the complexity of Latin jazz or the mellow sound of a ballad, the young musicians capture the musical style in an outstanding manner. This year, the Lab Band performed throughout the southeastern Pennsylvania region, being recognized for excellence in jazz festivals. Many individuals were named Outstanding Soloists, and sections won Best of Awards. This year, at the Cavalcade Bands Jazz Championship, the band received the highest possible rating of superior from the judging panel and had the top score in their division, earning them an overall championship trophy for the 3rd year in a row. That top score was a unanimous decision by the judging panel. But rather than talk about them, let's listen to a sample of that North Penn sound. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Peter New and the North Penn High School Lab Band. Mr. Peter New, would you please come up and introduce the members of the jazz ensemble? Jazz, the lab band.
Thank you. Members of the lab band this year are Matt Ames, Samantha Barry, Sarah Blackledge, Matt Buckley, Dean Carabolius, Reed Collins, Sandra Durstein, Brian Endline, Matt Gibson, Mike Gubatosa, Andrew Holloway, Jack Hooten, Gene Lee, Mike LeGower, Jared Lucas, Jill Malak, Steve McElhenney, Tim Mickler, Jeff Ravazio, J.D. Riley, Ben Shelley, and Michael Stefano, North Penn High School Lab Band.
Before I introduce Mrs. Krug, I need to go back to the science category. There was a part that was omitted that I would like to announce. As a result of Rishi Sanyal's Silver Medal Award at the Delaware Valley Science Fair, he was eligible to attend the Intel International Science and Engineering Fair, an international competition held in Fort Worth, Texas. In this exclusive event, Rishi placed 4th overall for his project in physics. So Rishi, congratulations. At this time, to continue our program, I would like to introduce to you Mrs. Patricia Krug, one of our other assistant principals.
Thank you. What an array of talent we have tonight, and I just want to say what an honor and a pleasure and a privilege it is to be here among all of these students and their families. Earlier this evening, you met 33 commended students from the National Merit Scholarship qualifying test. Now add to that 11 students who have been named semi-finalists and finalists in these exams. These students are among 14,000 finalists nationwide, the top 0.5% of nearly 1 million students who took the PSAT National Merit Qualifying Test. Please welcome Aaron Blake, Matthew Elias, Ben Ingram, Wayne Lau, Lee McComber, Melissa Mazzoli, Patrick Mose, Doug Philibon, Karina Schmitz, and Chad Tressler. Finally, this young lady scored a perfect 1600 on the SAT. That in itself is a major accomplishment, but it's also an accomplishment when you score a perfect 1600 twice, and that's what Josephine Drew accomplished. First, first time was when she took the test as a 9th grader, and then when she took the test most recently. Congratulations to each of the semi-finalists and finalists. Our next award is the National Award winner. This is the 40th year for recognition by the National Council of Teachers of English for a junior student demonstrating excellence in writing. Included in the selection process was the submission of a general writing sample based on a topic of any choice. Secondly, applicants were asked to write an impromptu timed essay on a subject set by the Achievement Awards Advisory Committee. This year, over 3,000 students from all 50 states, the District of Columbia, and American schools abroad participated in this competitive program. There were only 21 winners in Pennsylvania. The recipient of this national award was Doug Philibom. Over 90,000 students in the United States and 8 foreign countries, including Australia, Belgium, Canada, England, Germany, Italy, Japan, the Netherlands, New Zealand, Zimbabwe, and Czechoslovakia, took this year's Latin exam. The exam includes questions on grammar, mythology, derivatives, literature, Roman life, and history. To receive a gold medal, a student must have between 38 and 40 correct out of a total of 40 questions. Gold medalists this year in Latin 3, Reed Collins, Shilpa Donizetti, Deborah George, Deborah Horn, Carly Shaw. In Latin 4, Jason Harris and Scott Thompson. And in Latin 5, Josephine Drew. In fact, Josephine received special commendation from the National Latin Exam Committee for winning a gold medal in the National Latin Exam for 5 consecutive years. To receive a silver medal, the students must have scored 35 to 37 right out of 40. Silver medals were achieved by, in Latin 1, Sheila Bianchi and Rebecca Edwards and Jang Har. For Latin 3, Amy Chang, Sandy Cho, John Clary, Emily Clinch, Rebecca Dillon, Elizabeth Jin, Omar Johnson, Lauren Koltowski, Jason Richwine, Kristen Single, John Quinn. In Latin 4, Krupa Patel and Kim Wirt. And in Latin 5, Jeremy Sturcio. Next, we would like to recognize our Thespian Troupe State Conference Award and Ms. Cynthia Loudon, who is our director. North Penn High School Theater has a strong reputation for excellence. Anyone who has seen any of the fall or spring productions will attest to that. In fact, wasn't this year's production of 42nd Street wonderful? However, theater comes alive at North Penn through other mediums as individuals and as an ensemble. This year, North Penn's 54-member thespian troupe participated in the Pennsylvania State Thespian Pentathlon competition held in November. The troupe won the silver medal for second place overall in the event. Each of North Penn entries won medals. In fact, some students were medal winners in 2 categories. Only 5/10 of a point separated North Penn from first place State College. Over 1,000 students competed from across the state. Also, as a result of their placement, several North Penn students earned the right to perform at the International Thespian Conference in June at the University of Nebraska. Shortly, you will be seeing Michael Tornetta perform his award-winning monologue. Troupe Vice President Kim Dunn and Theater Director Cynthia Loudon were elected to Pennsylvania State Thespian Board of Directors. North Penn Theater is recognized across the state as one of the premier organizations for high school students. Here is Cynthia Loudon, Theater Director, to introduce the students.
Thank you, Mrs. Cruz. As I call your name, if you'll come forward and receive your tile, and if you are on the stage, if you will stand at that time, please. Chad Barkley, Chris Beals, Janelle Brogley, Chris Buckner, Rachel Burke, Jay Castle, Greg Connell, Kim Condello, Katie Cousineau, Brianne DeMay, Kim Dunn, Allison Foucher, James Bavata, Lauren Fournier, Matthew Fritz, Drew Hale, Bill Hannings, Kristen Hannings, Kristen Herbert, Cynthia Herman, TJ Hupsch, Cynthia Illingworth, Tom Johnson, Deborah Kiesel, Tim Legauer, Andy Lesnevsky, Joffrey Legal, Amanda Marcella, James McCarter, Allison McCarthy, Lisa McGuire, Nancy Mersch, Phil Moravec, Randy Moyer, Jess Orgira, Samir Barat, Catherine Peters, Michelle Register, Nathaniel Reimer, Rashida Scott, Joe Seeker, Pan Silverman, Jason Sneed, Tyrone Salas, Sarah Spielvogel, Blair Sterling, Adrian Taylor, Jackie Tomlinson, Mike Tornetta, Katie Volman, Tim Weir, Ryan Williams, Stacy Winder, G. Yun. If you didn't guess by now, we took the largest participating troop to states, 54 members. I would like to recognize our two first place entries. If you are a first place person in makeup, that's Chris and Rachel and Ryan, who's just now coming on stage. Would you stand first place at the States? We also won first place in pantomime, and that would be Brianne DeMay and Tim Weir. If you would stand, please. Our second place representatives were Tim Legauer, Cynthia Illingworth, and I just forgot Matt Fritz. Sorry, Matt, would you stand, please? And our third place in the duet song, Janelle Brogley and Nathaniel Reimer. If you were a member of the state third place dance category, would you stand? It's Pumping Iron. And thank you. Sending this many students on to states and internationals is a wonderful thing. And they are completely enhanced by a staff, Art Addison, Bonnie Bishop, Mr. and Mrs. John Buckner, Deborah Danowski, Pat Heim, and Dr. Davis Gears. We couldn't have won without their assistance. We thank you and thank the parents.
The Governor's School is a full scholarship opportunity for students to learn, work, and study a particular subject area. This takes place during the summer months and includes a highly competitive statewide application process. This year, there were 658 students selected to participate in the various schools. A total of 3,832 students applied. North Penn has been fortunate to have had scholarship winners since 1975, and we can be proud of having 4 successful candidates selected for the honor this year. At this time, we will meet the winners for 2 of the 4 Governor's School summer programs. The Governor's School for Teaching selects students in an inside look in the field of education. The program challenges participants in creativity, critical analysis, and thinking skills. Students have a first-hand opportunity to teach and incorporate the use of instructional technology. Students in this school will live on the campus of Millersville University. North Penn's Governor School for Teaching representative is Janice Drew. And the Governor's School for the Arts. A select number of participants each year have the opportunity in the School for the Arts to work with distinguished artists from across the Commonwealth. This year's School for the Arts will be hosted by Mercyhurst College, located near Erie, Pennsylvania. North Penn will be represented by Rejoice Jewler. Next, we turn to the field of mathematics. Mathematics, even in its most simple form, can be a complex discipline. Daily use of mathematical skills can be the undoing of the most organized person, even with the able assistance of calculators and computers. The National Math Exam has been in existence nationwide since 1971. In February, 200 students participated in the test here at North Penn High School. There were 6 students who distinguished themselves on this year's National Math Exam as they added, subtracted, multiplied, divided, calculated, and analyzed the word problems that were a part of the process. Here to introduce the students who scored 100 or more points on the national scale is Mr. Russ Stewart.
The 6 students tied for first for the first time in our history, Josephine Drew and Ben Ingram. And also scoring high, Wayne Lau, Rob Marasco, Rishi Sanyel, and Andy Sykes.
Now we turn to the track field with the girls' track, whose head coach is Jim Crawford, assistant coach Chris King, and assistant coach Pat Culp. If you read local sports pages of newspapers in the spring, or perhaps heard coaches around the league talking about the coming spring track season, few were giving North Penn any chance of continuing the excellence in the sport that has been enjoyed for so many years. However, some of the individual team members also were vocal in warning everyone not to count North Penn out this season, and right those student voices were. The girls completed an undefeated league schedule, won the District 1 title, and did extremely well at the state meet last weekend in Shippensburg. The state championship was won by the 4x800 relay team with a time of 9 minutes, 16 and 93 seconds. Welcome the championship relay team of Tiffany Huff, Jen Krakow, Megan DeSimone, and Cheryl Smith. Cheryl Smith also medaled in the 300-meter hurdles at the state meet. The girls' 4x400 relay team placed 4th in the state meet. Members of the team were Nia Campbell, Jen Krakow, Erica Parker, and Cheryl Smith. Next, I would like to introduce the students who have published their poetry and prose in national journals. In the 21st century, we have Josh Entz, Amanda Greer, Bill Hannings, Laura Malik, Sarah Sando, Kate Staples, and Rachel Sitkin. The Poetry Journal, Allison Foucher, Melissa O'Hare, Sarah Sando, Marissa Williams, and John Walton. Next to the orchestra, with Phil Tackett, director. North Penn students share a wealth of talent with audiences across the region each year. The high school orchestra is an exceptionally talented group of young musicians, and each of Mr. Tackett's ensembles perform many selections from the great classic orchestra literature. Likewise, individually, students distinguish themselves in PMEA events. Students are regular participants in district, regional, and all-state orchestra festivals. This year, the following achieved regional orchestra students, please come forward. Reed Collins, Angela Dimick, Stephanie Holstein, Amanda Wetzel, Lindsay Schwerner, Wendy Skrozin, and Michael Strelzik.
I'd like to also recognize our representatives who went on to state orchestra. I think they're already up here. Reed Collins and Michael Strelzik. Congratulations.
Our students have a diverse range of participation, as you have seen. The Geography Bee is a regional event hosted by a consortium of schools, and the event has been held at Plymouth Whitemarsh High School this spring. Our principal, Dr. Cotter, in fact, was one of the founding personnel for the event, which is based on the format of the game Jeopardy! Students are participants in lightning rounds of knowledge on everything from economics to current political events, current events, and related topics. For the second year in a row, junior Jason Harris outdistanced all other competitors. Let's recognize Jason for his great effort 2 years in a row. As part of the Thespian Treat State competition, students have an opportunity to perform as individuals in addition to all of the group activities. Mike Tornetta achieved tremendous honors at the state competition as a member of the troupe's presentation of a one-act comedy adapted from Shakespeare's A Midsummer Night's Dream. North Penn High School English teacher Pat Hine directed the show. Michael Tornetta played the character Puck. Based on his performance, Michael was selected for the Pennsylvania All-Star Cast as the play's best actor. Michael was also the state's highest monologue audition winner, receiving a $500 talent scholarship. So now, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Michael Tornetta, recreating his role as Puck.
Now the shallowest thick-skin of that barren sort, who Pyramus presented in their sport, forsook his seam, then entered a break, when I did him at his advantage take. An ass's knoll I fixed on his head. Hee-haw! Anon, his this must be answered. So forth my mimic comes. Hee-haw! When they spy him as wild geese for the creeping fowler eye. On russet-painted tops, many in sort, rising and cawing at the gun's report, sever themselves and madly sweep the sky. So at his sight, away his fellows fly, and here and there over another one falls, he murder cries and help from Athens calls, save me from the beast! His senses thus weak, lost with their fears, thus strong, made senseless things begin to do them wrong. For briars and thorns that apparel snatched, some sleeves, some hats, from yielders all things catch. I led them on in this distracted fear, and I left sweet Pyramus, translated there, hee-haw. In that moment, so it came to pass, Titania waked, and straightway loved an ass!
Thank you, Mike. It was wonderful, and congratulations. Next, it is my privilege to introduce Mr. Steve Fredericks, who will continue with tonight's presentation.
For the past 2 hours, a number of these students have been sitting on stage and you've been sitting in the auditorium. While we make this transition to video, why don't you kind of stand and stretch? Go ahead. Honest. You stand up and stretch. Take the lead. Okay, that's enough. Ladies and gentlemen, please share with us these couple of minutes about AAA. So we continue on with the last portion of our program this evening, and we've actually returned to the water and to the pool here at North Penn High School and around the area. We had 2 lady swimmers who achieved academic All-American status and would like to recognize at this time Katie O'Brien and Alyssa Molson. Academic All-American swimmers, congratulations. You know, for some, water polo, particularly boys water polo, may appear to simply be a conditioning exercise for the dual meet swimming season. But if you look at the record of this athletic team, it will show otherwise. This year, the boys water polo team medaled as a 3rd place competitor in the state championship, and this is particularly significant as North Penn water polo has been officially recognized as a sport for just 3 years. And during the 3 years, it has also included a state championship. Each year since its inception, the team has been a contender at the state competitive level, and 4 North Penn team members were named to the All-State team. They were Ryan McGrath, 1st team All-State, Mike McPeak, 2nd team All-State, Jeremy Bergman, 2nd team All-State, and Steve Philibon, 3rd team All-State. Will those gentlemen please stand? Those All-State water polo members. And now it's my pleasure to introduce to you the coach of swimming here at North Penn, Mr. Bill Bartle, to introduce the team members.
Members of this year's boys water polo team: Bill Baldwin, Jeremy Bergman, Chris Craig, Steve Fleming, Jay Geddes,
Matt Gibson, Jason Grubb, Tim Kronstan, Ryan McGrath, Mike McPeak, Derek Myerson, Devin Philbaum, and Steve Philbaum.
Special Olympics has become a marquee event of the year at North Penn High School. For many of us, it is a highlight of the entire school year. And Special Olympics provides year-round training and competition in 22 Olympic-type sports through a network of thousands of coaches and event organizers and volunteers. The Pennsylvania Special Olympics has grown from 135 athletes in 1970 to over 27,000 athletes in 1998. North Penn representatives are regular award winners at the local and state Olympics and certainly very active in that particular movement. Tonight we are delighted to honor our student athletes, and we're also very happy to have with us one of the key people that makes it all happen. Mrs. Kathy Kerber now joins us to do the honors.
Could I have my Special Olympians come forward, please? It's always a pleasure to work with these young people. And this last year, I have watched all of them grow and really put their hearts and their souls into competition. In fact, we had one gold medal game in floor hockey at the winter competition that went down to the wire. It went back and forth from one point to the next point, and we ended up with a gold medal. The team members include medaling in soccer, Kim Bennis, Caroline Parkany, and Samantha Weiss. Powerlifting gold medals, Chris Cosby and Pat Cosby, and they're unable to be here. Bronze medal, Doug Lawson. In basketball, the medal winners were, that's floor hockey, would be Mark Straka and Samantha Weiss and Caroline Parkany.
Students from across the tri-state area take this exam each year, and students in levels 3, 4, and 5 of Latin are tested on a very difficult scenario, including advanced grammar, history, comprehension, and mythology. We are very happy to introduce our award winners this evening. And first of all, winning summa cum laude, Jason Harris. Jason received the Society's annual academic award for scoring the highest average for 2 consecutive years. Also, Reed Collins, summa cum laude. Being named as magna cum laude recipients, Emily Klitsch, Deborah Horn, Justin Kitt. And sophomore Elizabeth Jin, a Latin 3 student, was selected as the winner of the Philadelphia Classical Society Art Award. The event selects a drawing of a classical nature from all the entries submitted, and that is used nationwide on their stationery and credit is given. Congratulations. Spring track. If you read the local newspapers, you see that over this past weekend, a number of activities took place in the boys and girls track teams. Championships and records are 2 words that are really associated with the girls and boys track teams at North Penn High School. Through the years, the sport of track has carried with it a challenge to the members of the team to excel. This, perhaps more than any other, challenges the individual to not only be his or her best, but to be better than his or her best. Each season, miles and miles are run, thousands of feet are jumped, hundreds of throws are made, and it's practice, 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 a very, very specific event. For the team members in the field events, and then this year's boys spring track team, when undefeated in the league, achieved the district title. From the representatives who earned the right to compete at the state level, 2 state champions were crowned. I'd like to introduce to you the coach of the boys spring track team, Mr. Dick Swunker.
We brought back from this weekend 2 state champions, 1 individual, 1 relay. The individual state champion was Matt Antunes in the 800 meters. And the relay consisted of Josh Eater, Dan Tantino, Pat O'Malley, Zach Webb, and Matt Antunes.
We have two additional representatives to the Pennsylvania Governor's School. This provides a unique opportunity for students to take core courses as they participate in the Pennsylvania Governor's School for Science. They take courses in the fundamentals of math and science, select from electives in specialized topics, and choose areas in which to participate in laboratory work and team projects. These students will spend their summer working closely with numerous scientists. Selected to represent North Penn is Ashwini Faitek. Pennsylvania Governor's School for Healthcare. The Governor's School for Healthcare provides an opportunity to explore the changing healthcare delivery industry and various healthcare professions. The program is enhanced by site visits, guest speakers, and a chance to experience firsthand on-job training. The University of Pittsburgh is going to host this year's Governor's School for Healthcare. Please welcome Stephen Kim, who has been selected from North Penn. The National Achievement Scholarship Competition is a prestigious award presented to students who scored in the top 5% of the 1996 PSAT National Merit Scholarship Qualifying Test. North Penn's winner is one of 3,000 students nationwide commended for high achievement. Please welcome our award winner, Kimberly Baxter. Boys indoor track. And just a few minutes ago, you heard about the accomplishment of the boys spring track team in the state championship. Likewise, last winter on the indoor tracks at places like Lehigh University, Westchester, Kutztown. The indoor track team set some pretty high standards. The 2-mile relay team won first place in the state indoor meet, and in the process, annihilated the previous state record. Once again, here's Coach Dick Swanker.
We have the same 4 guys who didn't show up tonight, but I'd like to tell a little bit about what happened this past February during the state track meet. Matt Antunes, Josh Eater, Pat O'Malley, and Dan Tantino ran the fastest time in the nation in the state track meet, and also setting a state record in the 3200 relay. And then Matt Antunes later on in the meet came back and ran the fastest time in the nation in the 800 meters, also being state champion.
For approximately the past 2 hours and 15 minutes, we've been giving you a thumbnail sketch of the accomplishments of students that you see on stage that have achieved at the state, regional, national, and international level. In each instance, we could go on probably and extol many other awards and recognitions that these students that you see on stage and have met earlier this evening have participated in. And quite frankly, it's enjoyable taking 2 hours and 15 minutes or more to talk about all the good things about North Penn High School. And to each of these students and the hundreds of other great students in the North Penn High School, we thank and appreciate very much their efforts, not only in the classroom, but also their achievements outside of the classroom. As we come down to the finale of the program, it is a pleasure to introduce to you a group that through the years has achieved many, many awards and recognitions. Under the leadership of Mr. Ted Heller this year, the North Penn Marching Knights participated in the Fiesta Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona. And quite frankly, this is another situation where we can go on and on about all the achievements that they have gained through hard work, determination, and commitment. One important statistic that has perhaps sometimes left out of the recognition and the awards is that 61% of the students that participate in the Marching Knights achieved honor roll during a very, very busy fall season. This year's show, The Rebirth of a Nation, took a lot of work and study on the part of the staff and members, student members. They had the opportunity to travel to Gettysburg and to get a sense of the historical perspective of the musical program that they were sharing with the audiences. So without any further ado, without any more verbiage, it is my pleasure to introduce to you Mr. Ted Heller and the North Penn Marching Knights.
Yes, 1, 2. house divided against itself. Test. House divided against itself cannot stand. I believe that this government cannot endure permanently half slave and half free. I do not expect people to be troubled. I do not expect this house to fall. But I do expect that it will cease to be divided. It will become all one thing or all the other. Abraham Lincoln.
I would not be able to write you again, I feel impelled to write you a few lines that may fall under your eye when I am no more. My dear Sarah, my love for you is deathless. It seems to bind me with mighty cables, with nothing but omnipotence to break. And yet, my love of country moves over me like a strong wind. It bears me irresistibly to all those chains in the battlefield. If I do not return, my dear Sarah, never forget how much I love you, nor that when my last breath escapes me on the battlefield, it will whisper your name. Sarah, do not mourn me then. If you are gone, wait for me. We shall meet
government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth.
Well, if you thought that was good, you should have seen him on the field. I know the program was long, but truly isn't it wonderful to celebrate all these accomplishments this evening? We have a lot to be proud of. I need to tell you that these students truly are my joy and my love, and they make North Penn High School a very, very special place. A lot of people spent a lot of time putting this program together, and I'd like to acknowledge a few of those individuals. First of all, Steve Frederick, who was out here a second ago, helped organize the program. And Steve, I'd like to recognize you with a prize. He at least deserves a prize. Second, Mary Fakish and Bob Gilmore and their video crew and Channel 16. Bob Gilmore and Mary Fakish put the videos together that you had seen this evening. Tremendous job. They also wanted me to give you a commercial that the AAA program will be on Channel 16, Thursday, May 28th and Friday, May 29th at 7 p.m. And on Suburban Cable, for those that receive that Channel 9, program will air on June 5th at 1 p.m. Additionally, Mike Pett, who operated a lot of the spots and the video presentations, Dave Kelly and his staff certainly should be commended for their job. In closing, I'd like to reflect on a few things this evening. First of all, 375 regional, state, national, and international award winners. That's excellence. Outstanding musicians and athletes, certainly that's excellence. Outstanding academians, thespians, and volunteers, certainly that's excellence. Outstanding artists, technicians, writers, and future business leaders. Certainly that's excellent. Academics is North Penn. Athletics is North Penn. Activities is North Penn. Excellence is North Penn. Thank you and have a great evening.